Hey, what's going on? Ooh, I gotta bring my mic in there so I'm ready. How's everybody doing tonight? Jay Chantalancy here, certified emotion code energy healer practitioner, host of the Ripple Effect of Healing. Welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you are live with me, I'm streaming on YouTube and our beloved Facebook group. If you are in our Facebook group, thank you for being a part of our Facebook group. If you are not, you can go ahead and join us there. All right, we have about 500 or so people, amazing individuals. But anyways, today, my beloveds, we are going to talk about the second step. The second step when it comes to the healing journey. Right? Last week, we talked about awareness. Right? That's the first step to this amazing journey that we all must take. I believe with my heart and soul that taking this journey is a must for everybody. It is necessary for us to progress forward. It is necessary to learn about ourselves. It is necessary for us to let go. It is necessary for us to love again, trust again, have compassion, understanding, everything. All right? I mean, the healing journey is a necessity. You have to do this. But don't take my word for it, okay? I've helped hundreds of people on their journeys with our clients, and I'm so blessed that I get to do this work. And I'm so blessed to see so much transformation in everyone that I've helped. And they say the same things. They haven't felt this way in a long time. They feel like they can love again. They feel like they can, conquer the world. They feel good about themselves. That's what this healing journey can do. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. But there are tools. All right, there's a lot of tools out there that you can use and put in your tool belt to help you along in this journey, right? A lot of us carry trauma. A lot of us carry pain and suffering. Sometimes we don't even know where it's from. Most times it's not even from us. It's like from our ancestors and, parents and people way before us, right? And we just have to be aware of it. First and foremost, we have to be aware. We have to be aware that there's something wrong with us, right? There's something not right. We don't feel good. We get tired. We get exhausted. Something inside of us, inside of our soul, right? I mean, just screams at us like, hey, wake up. Something's wrong. Let's fix this, right? Most of us go throughout our whole lives not doing anything and we become numb. And then some of us, we stand up. We take charge. We draw the line in the sand. And we tell ourselves, I don't want to live this way anymore. I want to be different. I want to be better. I want to heal. Right? Heal. All right. So like I said, last week, if you didn't catch the 3-part series last week on Monday, I talked about awareness. Right? That's the first step to the healing process. The second step is acceptance. And this is what we're going to talk about tonight. The topic at hand. Acceptance. All right, what is acceptance? Acceptance is exactly what it sounds like. You need to accept that there is something wrong with you. You need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, is something wrong with me? Is there something that I need to do? Is there something that needs to happen so that I can heal? Right? I had to take a hard look in the mirror myself. And I was one of those people who were very, egoic. A lot of pride. I didn't think nothing was wrong with me. I thought it was me against the world. The world was messed up, not me. Like, I was fine. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Right? That was my mentality. That's what I thought. And with all that pride and ego, no one could tell me different. No one could tell me, and then I would believe them. Even though there were so many signs, right? Relationship after relationship after relationship. My friends would tell me like, man, That's messed up. Why'd you say that? Right? But when we're in that mindset and when we're not aware, we're not going to listen to anybody. We're not going to listen to anyone until something catastrophic happens. Until there is a smack in your face where you're going to feel it. You're going to be like, whoa, all right, something's wrong with me. I need to fix this, right? Mine came as a huge wake-up call, right? I was basically, treating my daughter, my eldest daughter, exactly the way, my father was treating me. Very insensitively. I don't even know if that's a word. Very insensitive, right? And she was afraid of me. My own daughter was afraid of me, right? Afraid to even come to my house and hang out with me. And I was, her and her mother and I were so in this tumultuous time of trying to fight for custody and all this stuff, right? It was crazy. It was horrible. And the innocent bystander was my daughter. And I was like numb. I was like, I had this one goal was to get custody 50% and that's it. And I didn't even think about anything else. And that made me very resentful, very angry, very frustrated, right? With the whole situation. And like I said, the innocent bystander was my daughter who had to feel all of this energy from me. And I remember I was taking stuff out on her, poor thing. But I was not in the right mindset, right? So that slapped me in the face. I woke up, thankfully. I became aware. I became aware of all the things that was happening around me. My wife at the time, who was my girlfriend, she was also letting me know things needed to change. I shouldn't be acting this way, right? And she was right. She was totally right. And even then, when she was telling me all this, I was still against it. Like, it was against my being to be wrong, right? It was against my being for, my wife at the time to tell me, like, you need to be more sensitive. Like, that inside of me, that felt wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, you're telling me to change? You're telling me to change? Like, defensive. I was defensive, like, right away, right? That's how most people get. When they're on this journey and someone attacks their ego or their pride and tells someone else to change, they're going against their grain. She went against what I believe who I was. And that was a big no-no. And we had so many arguments. So many. Because I couldn't accept it. I couldn't accept that there was something wrong with me. Even though it was blatantly in my face. Even though I felt it in my heart and soul that something needed to change. But my ego and my pride was so powerful. It was so in control that it took me a long time to finally realize. And for me to finally realize, it came to a point where I was dead exhausted. I was done. It felt like I was arguing every day with either my daughter's mother, my then girlfriend, wife at the time, and it was about the same thing over and over and over and over. The same thing, the same arguments. And I would just, get defensive. I would say stupid shit. And it was the same argument. It was a cyclical thing. Time and time again. And I was just exerting so much energy. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was stressed out. I was getting anxiety. You know what I mean? Like, every time I'd go even see her daughter's mother to pick up my daughter, it was just like anxiety driven, right? And then when I would bring my daughter back to our house, it was more anxiety because I would take out the energy, and then my wife, my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, we'd get into an argument, the same type of argument. So one day I just had it. I was just I just couldn't handle it anymore. Like, I was literally going crazy. I was literally like, I can't do this no more. I'm tired. I'm just, I'm not getting enough sleep. I'm not finishing my work. I was like moody, and that's not me. That's not who I was. I was taking out all my frustrations on my poor daughter, on my poor, wife at the girlfriend at the time. And it was just not conducive to who I was. And it took a long time, right? Until finally I was like, I had to accept that this is not what I wanted. I had to accept that I had to make some changes. This is why this step could be the hardest step. Because you really have to look at yourself and be like, yo, something needs to change. You need to do something differently. And that word change in itself is anxiety driven, right? We hate change. Us as humans, we dislike change. We have this like fear of change because we can't live outside of our comfort zone. Just a small little adjustment in our, world, in our bubble would throw us off. And most of us can't handle that. Right? Most of us like go crazy. Most of us like get defensive like I did. I got super defensive. But my body gave in. My body was like, you're getting like 3.5 hours of sleep. This is very unhealthy. I was getting sick all the time. It was not the business. And this is what negative energy, negative frequencies, negative emotions can do to you, right? You become a totally different person. Like and you know it. You know it. Deep down inside, you're not like that. But then you still go against what you're supposed to do. Because we've lost trust in ourselves, in our intuition, into our true, authentic self. I lost it. I basically lost it for a good amount of time there. And for me to step over the line to finally accept that I needed to make some changes in my life, oh my goodness. Even that part, even that part was tumultuous in itself. Because like I said, when you build up, your life and it's ridden with all of this trauma and pride and ego, suffering, right? We get used to that. That's what we call our normal self, right? That's why people in abusive relationships, they don't want to leave. Because to them, that's normal. Like to me, that was normal to be angry and frustrated and emotionally unavailable all the time. That was my normal, right? And then, situations change and now I want to do something and then it's affecting everybody in my nucleus. My daughter, my wife at the time. Everyone around me, my work, my job, my projects, everything. It was affecting everything. And every time I had a conversation with friends, it would always go back to, all of my problems. And that wasn't me because I was a guy in our group of friends that they would come to me with their problems. But I was like just spewing everything on my business because I was just miserable, right? I was miserable. And I couldn't figure out why I was miserable at the time until I finally accepted. Until I took matters into my own hands. Until I made some small changes, right? I started to become more and more aware of my actions. I started to become more and more aware of my thoughts, my energy, with the help of my wife, with how I was behaving, the things that I would say and not say, right? So I really had to look in the mirror and say, okay, what needs to change? All right? You got to stop being defensive. You got to stop yelling and exploding. Right? You have to control your anger. That was huge. It was huge for me. And even with my daughter's mother, like I said, it was a very tumultuous time. I think for the both of us, and we were both unaware ourselves, right? So we were just trying to think to do the best thing for our daughter, but it was just like this all the time. So what did I do? I surrendered. Not in the sense of like giving in to that person. I surrendered to the situation, right? Because there were things that I couldn't control. I had to accept that there were things and people that I couldn't control. And I know some of you, when I said that hit a chord in your soul. You were like, what? Right? Especially if you're one of those people who need control and who need to like oversee everything, man, this is probably getting under your skin. Right? That's the hardest thing to accept, that there are things out there and people out there that we can't freaking control. No matter what you do. No matter what you do, beloved. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, you cannot control them. The only person you can control, the only person you can control is yourself. That's it. That is it. And that lesson that I had to learn in that situation with my daughter and her mother, and this whole custody thing was like, whew, incredible. But it was a lesson learned. And it was the trajectory of how I learned that lesson and got me to be, better. Because I then surrendered to the situation. And I didn't put any more energy into it. I actually shifted and pivoted my energy to what's most important, which was my daughter. That pivot alone, game changer. I knew I couldn't control the 50% custody I already lost in court, right? I can't control the mother. She's the way she is, right? The only thing that I can control was my time with my daughter and when she came to me. And the relationship that I wanted to foster with her as her father. And it took a while. It took a long time because I'm pretty sure her going through all these things, it was traumatic for her because I was creating the trauma, right? When I look back, and this is something I even had to forgive myself for because I was unaware. I was unaware, right? And now, luckily, my daughter and I, we have a phenomenal relationship, right? But I had to work at it. I had to forgive myself. I have to have compassion for myself, compassion for the situation, accept the situation for what it is, accept her mother for how she was, change a whole shitload of things inside of me so I can even handle and have the capacity, empathy, compassion, love, self-love to handle even that situation. Was it easy? Fuck no. No. Was it necessary? Yes. I wouldn't be talking to you about it if I didn't heal from it. If I wasn't aware enough or accepted enough. Accepted the situation enough. Right? Now let me reiterate. This step alone. There's 3 steps, right? In this whole, the 3 A's of the healing process. Awareness, acceptance, tonight's episode, and then action, next week's episode. But you have to accept. There are things that you have to accept in this world, beloved. Especially things that you can't control. And it's going to be hard. It is going to be very difficult. That's why I want to talk about self-care and this healing. We just focus on ourselves. That's all we can control, right? And things will organically work itself out. When you focus your energy on what's most important, you, right? Things will automatically, organically, magically work out, right? Because the universe is going to be like, oh, okay, well, you're not going to give any energy to what you can't control, and you're focusing on yourself. Let me reward you. Because that's what life is all about. Life is just about focusing on ourselves to progress better each day. So we can just go for our personal legends. Right? And do what we need to do and do what we want to do. You know? And that's it. That's all we have to do. And ever since that situation, right, I've learned how to accept and surrender tremendously. Okay? And when you get to this point of awareness and acceptance in every situation that you're in, it gets easier. Trust me, beloved, it gets easier. You're not going to expel too much energy. You're going to come to a point in your awareness and in your life and and the understanding of the situation where you're going to question, like, okay, is this worth my energy? Do I have to accept some things here, some undeniable truths in this situation with this person? More than likely you will. And more than likely you're going to have to accept the person that you're dealing with is going to be that person that you're dealing with. Okay? And no matter what you say or do, you can't do anything about it. You can't change someone. You can help, you can be an example, but they still got to put in the work. They still have to put in the action and have their own awareness to change themselves. Right? I'm going through this even with my beloved sister, my only sister. Right? I mean, she calls me almost every day, venting and just, about her business and all these things. And I'm just listening. Because no matter what I say, she has her own thought process of everything. With the whole older sibling complex and everything like that too. Right? All I can do is just be a moral support, a helping, ear for her to vent to. And that's it. I don't tell her what to do. I don't give my advice. If she asks a question, I will answer, but I don't say anything. I just let her speak, and sometimes that's what people need. But if you're in this situation where you're like stressed out because this other person is like causing you stress, beloved, maybe it's time to accept that that's how they are, and then shift the focus from them and from you trying to control or change them to you trying to change yourself. Okay? Because if they're triggering you in a certain way, shape, or form, that means there's something inside of you that needs to heal. And that, beloved, is what you need to focus on. And that is why this second step is the hardest step. Because it's going to reveal what you need to work on with yourself. Because there shouldn't be, if you're at this point of healing and awareness, there shouldn't be anyone that affects you. No one. No one's going to affect you. Because you're going to be so woke and aware that even if this person is doing something malicious to you, you're going to know, like, man, you really need some healing. I know it's not me. Right? It's something that you're dealing with. I still have to check myself time and time again when I work, when I come in contact with people like that. I mean, before I had no awareness, you know what I mean? I would say some stuff, right? But now it's totally different. You kind of take this lens off of your eyes and you see deeper into the person. You see deeper into their truth. Like, Every time I talk to some of my clients, I can tell if I'm really talking to their authentic self, their inner child, or their ego, right? And by the things that they tell me, I can tell where they're coming from, which gives me a lot more patience and compassion. Because even if they blow up in front of my face, I'm not going to take it personal. Because I know they're hurting. That's probably why they're saying stupid shit. And you know how I know? I used to do the same thing. I used to do the same thing, all right? So we have to understand. We have to accept. And acceptance, that's where you can foster the change. That's the change agent, is to accept. And the more you can accept and you can surrender, it is amazing after that point, right? And you just continue to work on yourself. You just continue to put in the work. And it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. You're going to understand that there's a lot of things that you have to work on. I had to work on so much things. So I'm still working on myself. It is a daily, consistent practice to work on myself, to be better every single day. Because life is always going to throw shit in your face, right? Life is always happening. So we have to prepare ourselves for those moments, right? And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm fully healed and I'm not triggered and all this stuff. No. I still get triggered. But my reaction and my responses are totally different. Okay? Totally different. And that's because I've become aware of all the things that I had to work on, and I've accepted. Even the hardest pills to swallow, I needed to accept. And sometimes the things that you have to accept about people are the people that are closest to you. I know some of you looking at me like, damn, he's so 100% correct. Right? I know it. Trust me. I know it. I've been there, right? I mean, the closest people, you wish you can just change them, but no. They're gonna go through their own healing journey. They're gonna do it in their own divine timing. You were probably put in their lives to serve a purpose, and maybe that's it. Maybe you serve your purpose and then you leave, or they leave you, and that's okay. That's why, sometimes this healing journey can be lonely. I know. People just fall away because they're not at your level anymore. They're not at your vibration once you start accepting things, right? When you start accepting things and start to realize and create this awareness, your whole world is going to change. The people around you are going to change. That's how it is. Because you're not going to be, having the same conversations. You're not going to be having, the same type of understanding of life, of your emotions. It's going to be different, right? But don't think that's going to be like that forever, because you're going to meet other people who are on the same level. The more you level up, the more you'll be open, and the more the universe will oh, okay, you're on this level? You're healing yourself? I'm going to just throw some people your way so you can talk to them and they can help you. Your spirit guides, your angels, your mentors, they'll just start showing up out of nowhere. Okay? Accept. Beloveds, accept it. Okay? Acceptance. That is the key. All right? Okay, beloved. Thank you so much for that. Woo! Had to get that out. Just want to say what's up to everyone on live. Doris, Ebony, Jess, I see you. Wendy, Lexi. Oh, shout out to the new queens and the queens routine. Awesome. So amazing. So happy for all of you. Congratulations. And for those from you from Facebook, I don't know what's going on, but you have to give me your permission to see the names. So I don't know who is on here right now, but it's all good. thank you for stopping by and watching anyways. Please share this if this was valuable to you. Subscribe below to any of the social media channels. If you're not in the Facebook group, join our Facebook group. It's amazing. A lot of amazing content. And last but not least, I want to have an announcement. And the announcement I'm also going to send out to my list as well. If you're on my email list, Healing Tribe. If you're in the Healing Tribe, let the other Healing Tribe members know as well. So for the month of February, is this year a leap year? Is it a leap year this year? Let me see. Is it a leap year this year? No, it isn't. Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. So for the month of February, everybody's been emailing me. Everybody's been asking me, Jay, are we going to have another challenge? Are we going to have another self-care challenge? No, we're not going to have another self-care challenge because I'm writing a self-care book. I'm still writing it. Thank you for your patience. I underestimated how difficult it is to, write a book. This is going to be my first book, so I'm putting a lot of heart and soul into it, right? But for the month of February, what I wanted to do is, my wife and I, Angela and I, we've been on this whole mission to increase self-awareness. Right? We want to increase self-awareness. So that's why we've been posting in our Facebook group, like what your self-care routine looks like and how are you, creating more self-awareness for yourself, because awareness is everything, right? It's going to lead you in the path of healing, right? It's a direct path to healing. Self-care is, all right? So for February, what I'm going to do is on my TikTok, if you follow me on TikTok, I'm going to go live every day for the month of February. My birthday month, and I'm going to go live and just do self-care, and you are welcome to join me every single day. All right, every single day you want to wake up with me, I'm thinking like 6 a.m. in the morning, right? I still have that 1 hour before that I can do my thing, and then 6 a.m. we'll do self-care together, and I'll do my self-care routine like I did for the 120 days. All right, but this time it's just going to be, you want to join me or not. There's not going to be any type of accountability. Like I said, I got so much on my plate, but I do want to, kind of show people what self-care can look like and hopefully inspire some of you to, do the self-care for yourself, right? Because I still get emails, I still get comments, I still get text messages like, how do I do self-care, Jay? Like, what am I supposed to do? I still get them, and the best thing I can do is just show you how I do it, right? Just like in the last 3 challenges that we did. Okay, so every day starting February 1st, I'll probably send out an email to the Healing Tribe and our email list too, to join me on my TikTok page. I'm gonna be just doing self-care. You are welcome to join. Anyone can join, right? It's probably going to be like 15-20 minutes in the morning, and initially I'll just tell you what we're going to be doing today, and then I'll even have a timer and go through all the activities, and that's it, right? Every single day for February, for my birthday month. So super excited about that. Super excited to see if you guys are joining me, and yes, that is all. Okay. What else? I think that's it. Like I said, I do this every Monday night, 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. We also have the healing circles as well, happening on Fridays, if you guys got the email for that. So look out for that. A lot of other things coming. We're revamping our website. All these other projects on the horizon as well. Stay tuned. We're so grateful for our connection and being able to give you the best content we can about healing, about self-care. That's our passion, right? But other than that, thank you so much for joining me live. Appreciate everyone here. Appreciate all of you. I love your faces. Tune in next week. The last step for this 3 A's to the healing process is action. So next week, we're going to talk about action. Now that we're aware, now that we've accepted, how we're going to take some action. What do we need to do? All right. What do we need to implement? And that's what next week's show is going to be about. All right. I love your faces. Always remember to protect your energy at all costs, beloveds. Okay. And I will see you next week.